Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh, and a very good morning and a very good day to all of you, the participants of the International Symposium on Sustainable Aviation. So we are very lucky today. We have another two keynote speakers that will deliver their keynote speeches today from 9 a.m. till 11 a.m. in Malaysian time. So for today's program, we have our first keynote speaker, Professor Technologist Shamsul Kamar Abu Samah from the National Aerospace Industry Coordinating Office, NAICO, and it will be followed by the second keynote speaker, Technologist Ricky Liu Chi Leong, the Head of Engineering from Aviation Sdn Bhd. Just to let you know that in terms of the house rule, we will have the first keynote speaker by Professor Technologist Shamsul Kamar for the first session, and we will have the Q&A session as being highlighted yesterday on our first earlier keynotes, where question can be posted in the chat session, right? So right after the keynote being delivered, we will open the Q&A for all of you. Okay, let me just start the session by reading out the biography of our first keynote speaker. Shamsul Kamar graduated from University of Portsmouth, United Kingdom in 1998 with a Bachelor of Engineering degree honours in Electronic and Electrical Engineering. He also holds a diploma in Electrical Engineering from Universiti Technology Malaysia in 1995. He is currently the head of National Aerospace Industry Coordinating Office, which is an office under the Ministry of International Trade and Industry. He joined NAICO since 2016 after completing his tenure as the Chief Executive Officer of Aerospace Malaysia Innovation Centre from 2014 till 2016. Previously, he was the head of Aerospace and Advanced Material at the Malaysian Industry Government Group for High Technology. He also spent over 7 years, from 1999 to 2006, as a senior engineer at Sapura Defence Sdn Bhd. And formerly, he also served at Aerot Alinea Technology Sdn Bhd as radar maintenance engineer from 95 to 96 and 98 till 99. And in 2016, Professor Shamsul was appointed as honorary professor by the University of Nottingham, Malaysia campus. So we have an important aerospace industry guy today with here in our International Symposium on Sustainable Aviation. So without further ado, I welcome Professor Shamsul to deliver his keynote speech.
First of all, I would like to congratulate the organizer of this international conference for being successful to organize this virtual conference. We planned this together, and we hope that we can do this in Langkawi this year, but unfortunately due to the COVID-19 pandemics, then a lot of things has to be changed, and we have to do a new normal in terms of delivering our activities and so on. I have a few slides to be shared to the audience today, and I've been talking together with Prof. Dr. Rahim that before this we have not consolidated any activities or what I call it, this initiative under sustainable aviation. So today's presentation, we have the opportunity to highlight to all of you what sort of things that has already been done in Malaysia, and what is our next moving forward actions, particularly under the 12 Malaysia Plan starting from next year. A little bit about my organization, National Aerospace Industry Coordinating Office, or better known as NICO Malaysia. We were established in 2015 as a special aerospace unit under the Ministry of International Trade and Industry back in 2015 after the launching of the Malaysian Aerospace Industry Blueprint in Lima 2015. So one of the key initiative of the blueprint is to establish this office in order to facilitate the aerospace industry development strategies, and also to coordinate, prioritize, review, manage, and monitor overall aerospace industry development program, of which include sustainable aviation, energies, and green technology as well. We also coordinate the implementation of the Malaysian Aerospace Industry Blueprint 2030 and monitor the progress of the industries. And we collaborated together with many agencies and also ministries related to aerospace industry activities, namely CAM, DGTA, MIDA, MATRADE, SME corporations, and so on. After about 4 or 5 years of establishment, we have become a reference point for the local and international aerospace player, particularly to those who wants to really look into how that they can do a lot of things in Malaysia, engaging with local players, and how that we can create international partnership in projects, investments, as well as other things. NICO also promotes and facilitates the involvement of local players, particularly the small and medium enterprises, into global supply chain. We do this together with SME Corporation Malaysia, and there will be more activities with regards to SMEs development, and sustainable aviation is one of the key areas that we are also looking into. In terms of the coverage of our industry facilitations, we covered the aviation airport services infrastructure, of course, together with the regulator, CAM, and also the Ministry of Transport. We look into engineering services and integration, system integration, aerospace manufacturing, and MRO. Of course, this is the main contributor to our revenue. We have managed to capture about 16.2 billion ringgit Malaysia last year. Other than that, we look into human capital solution, research and technology. This is one of the key areas with regards to competency development, and also engaging together with other agencies. A little bit about policy on the Malaysia aerospace industry before we proceed to the specific area of policy with regards to sustainable aviation. The Malaysian Aerospace Industry Blueprint 2030 has set a target for Malaysia to become the #1 aerospace nation in Southeast Asia, and also integral part of the global market shares. The industry players, together with the government agencies, combined their effort back in 2014, and this initiative was led by the Malaysian Industry Government Group for High Technology Mind, of which myself and also Professor Dr. Rahim was part of this organization back in 2013, and we are glad to see that the implementation of the blueprint has come to the second phase of the implementation. Of course, our target in terms of dollar and cents, the revenue by 2030, we hope that we can capture 55.2 billion ringgit Malaysia by then, offering about 32,000 jobs, and to become one of the leading supplying the competent workforce in Southeast Asia. And as you can see from this slide, apart from the Malaysian Aerospace Industry Blueprint, of which we have about 41 key initiatives, we are being supported by few other policies, such as 11 Malaysia Plan. So in this case, we have Aerospace Industry Development Program, spearheaded by NICO. We have Supply Chain development, as well as aerospace research and technology. Again, I have to stress that aerospace research and technology played a very key role in ensuring that we can capture the targets by the 2030 timeline. And we have another programs that being launched by the government under the National Key Economic Transformation Program, and there are four initiatives that are being listed here. We talk about MRO services, we talk about pure play engineering services. We want to make Malaysia as a hub for aerospace OEM in Southeast Asia, and to develop further our SMEs under a specific development program, not limited to aerospace manufacturing, but also in the area of manufacturing, MRO. And I've been keep mentioning about Malaysia wants to become number one in Southeast Asia, but it doesn't mean that we will not be collaborating together with the Southeast Asian country. Of course, Singapore, Vietnam, Thailand, Indonesia, key in terms of aerospace industry development in the Southeast Asian region. And of course, we hope that with the launch of our blueprint and also the implementation of 11 Malaysia Plan, 12 Malaysia Plan, we will be able to collaborate together with our regional countries and make Southeast Asia as one of the key hub for aerospace industry in the world. This slide shows the blueprint key initiative on sustainable aviation. We have 3 specific strategies that highlighted sustainable aviation initiative. Either it is green practices for green technology, and how that we want to engage with local supply chain, and also to further develop our research and technology activities. Strategy number 3, we want to improve our awareness, regulation, and also to promote green practices. There are 2 specific initiatives here. We want to harmonize the awareness, regulations, and practices to ensure that we can facilitate industry innovation. So one of the key innovation here is to develop the biojet fuel solutions based on our natural resources. Strategy 3.3, we want to introduce regulation that ensure disposal activities are carried out in accordance with green practices and standards, and also to adopt energy efficiency technology that will contribute to cost competitiveness. So this is also very critical for Malaysia in order to become the key players in the long run. Okay, nevertheless, with regards to the next strategy, strategy number 4, the government highlighted that we need to invest in research and technology to develop new capabilities and enhance industry competitiveness. So one of the key initiatives here is to develop National Aerospace R&D Roadmap. This has been done together with Aerospace Malaysia Innovation Center, and some of the key activities or target has already been carried out under the 11 Malaysia Plan High Value Added and Complex Product Initiative. We also want to focus on aerospace R&D. We look into improvement of MRO processes, advanced manufacturing processes. So in the next few slides, I will highlight what sort of green technology, sustainable aviation initiative that has already been implemented, and what sort of things that we are looking at in the future. We also want to focus on composite R&D, new production technologies like thermoplastic and green composite, and also to invest in automation to ensure that we can reduce the carbon emissions and so on. Not to forget, in terms of the remanufacturing and end of life aircraft disposal, we have launched a remanufacturing policy. I mean, the Ministry of International Trade and Industry has launched the remanufacturing policy covering aerospace, automotive, marine, E&E, and also machinery end of last year. And we are looking at implementing this policy to support the activity with regards to sustainable activities. This is a summary or snapshot of initiatives that has already been implemented so far with regards to sustainable aviation. Of course, there are a number of other initiatives being implemented by other ministries, but I would like to highlight the key initiative that being implemented by Malaysian Industry Government Group for High Technology, MITI, and also a number of organizations as well as universities related to aerospace studies. So the first important milestone that we have achieved is the establishment of Aerospace Malaysia Innovation Center back in 2011, of which Airbus, Rolls-Royce, CTRM managed to form what I call it as a joint venture or partnership, public-private partnership together with MITE, and the organization has already come up with a number of initiatives, particularly with regards to factory of the future, training of the future, and the sustainable aviation activities. Apart from looking into manufacturing, we also highlighted the importance of developing specific human capital in this sustainable aviation. So back in 2011 again, Malaysian Industry Government Group for High Technology launched a specific sustainable aviation training program by the name of Advanced Green Composite to nurture engineers or graduates with regards to sustainable aviation. And there are a number of other activities you can see from these slides. I would like to highlight one of the important element here, the Center of Excellence for Sustainable Aviation that was launched back in 2014. So this is the key start of sustainable aviation or biojet fuel studies in Malaysia with the collaboration of Airbus, MITE, SIRAT, Bioeconomy Corporations, AMIC, as well as UPM as the host university during that time. Other than biojet fuel, we also have a number of projects with regards to biomaterial, such as bioresin and also biomaterial. And you can see that a number of activities with regards to facilities, green facilities spearheaded by KLIA or Malaysia Airports, of which they have started to use solar power system back in 2013. And also when they launched the KLIA 2, they have a specific project by the name of Embracing Energy Efficiency for Sustainable Aviation. Recently, Ministry of International Trade Industry embarked into industry-led R&D under the 11 National Plan High Value Added and Complex Program, of which aerospace industry R&D has been spearheaded by NICO as well as AMIC. So a number of activities with regards to green technology, advance and modernization of processes has already been implemented and currently being implemented for the next few more months. One of the key initiatives announced back in 2019 is the collaboration between Airbus, AirAsia, as well as AMIC on biojet fuel. And we hope that in the next few years, we can launch our first flight demonstrations to show to the world that the biojet fuel product of Malaysia can be implemented or can be used in one of the commercial flight. Right. In the next few slides, I will elaborate a number of initiatives being highlighted or carried out by a number of organizations. In the case of biojet fuel, various biojet fuel studies and research has already been conducted since 2011. Starting together with this establishment of Center of Excellence under the collaboration between Airbus, AMIC, MITE, UPM, Bioeconomy Corporations, and SIRAT, we have managed to come up with the sustainability of biojet fuel in Malaysia, the studies, and there will be a continuity to these activities. And you can see from this slide, we have also specific research on offshore cultivation of tropical microalgae for the production of aviation jet fuel. It's a very huge initiative led by EMIC, and we have managed to brought together Airbus and at least 3 universities together in developing these solutions. Of course, with the involvement of Airbus and AirAsia, we hope that the first demonstration flight utilizing our own biojet fuel can be realized in the next few years. This is something that is very important and critical for Malaysia, and we have been proposing some sort of action plan to the Economic Plan Unit, and we hope under the next 12 Malaysia Plan, the government will announce specific initiative under sustainable aviation. In terms of green material, we don't have many activities with regards to green material, but we have already started this initiative back in 2011, of which we look into potential plant that can be used for not only for aerospace application, but also for other applications such as rail, automotive, and also marine. So we have leverage on the expertise available within Malaysian universities, and we want to these green material projects to enable us to become one of the key supplier of raw material for aerospace parts and component manufacturing. So it is a very tall order, but it's something that we believe that we can deliver. And one of the most important initiative or projects that we have already embarked is the bioresin activities together with the Malaysian Adhesive Chemical Company and also UPM. And we hope that the introduction of this bioresin will enable us to participate in green initiative or green projects in the next few years. In terms of green processes, we are looking into modernizing aerospace manufacturing and MRO processes through digitalization and green technology. Of course, this has to be combined together with aerospace industry 4.0 technology. And I'm glad to say that we have already conducted a number of projects under MITI, and these few projects highlighted here, such as automated radome furbishment system, virtual reality for trainings in aerospace manufacturing, automated spray painter, and also automated fiber placements, are some of the key projects that are already being implemented throughout the 11 Malaysia plans durations. And of course, these projects are targeted to enhance our industry competitiveness at global level and also to develop new capabilities. And not to forget, all these projects are going to support energy efficient initiative and to reduce the emission of CO2. And one of the key takeaway from all this project is we managed to have some kind of initiative or projects with regards to enhancement of our skills for technical workforce due to the fact that a lot of activities or modern initiative will be embarked in the next few years. And the implementation of 4.0 technology will require new set of skills for our technical workforce. In terms of green facilities, I have highlighted before that Malaysia Airports has embarked into adaptation of green technology through energy efficient facilities. So KLIA and KLIA 2 has specific projects or initiative with regards to solar power systems and also energy management, water conservation, wastewater, fuel, noise, carbon reduction initiative, and many more. And we hope that this success story can be replicated for other aerospace facilities, particularly aerospace factory, as well as MRO hangars. So a number of projects are currently being discussed together with many parties, and we hope that the companies can come up with a number of initiatives to implement green facilities initiative in the next 5 years or so. In terms of human capital, not limited to biojet fuels and also green composite, there are a number of engagement between the OEM. In this case, you can see Rafael International or Dassault Aviation and also Airbus have some kind of initiative being conducted and being implemented together with the Ministry of Higher Education and the local universities. Of course, we would like to foster aerospace innovation and creative thinking with sustainable aviation agenda in mind. This initiative or these activities encourage engineering students to build patience and appreciation for science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, fundamental for Malaysia to build up our aviation and aerospace industry. And we managed to brought together college and university students in exploring and unlock a digital-centric thinking and also sustainable aviation around the future of aviation. So with the pandemic of COVID-19 impacting our industry, it somehow or rather forced us to think outside the box on how that we can sustain our businesses. There is no use if we promoting sustainable aviation without managing our activities or business activities. So we need to sustain our business in order for us to ensure that whatever activities with regards to sustainable aviation or green technology can be implemented throughout the years. And this is my last slide, of which that I would like to show that under the 12 Malaysia Plan, we are looking in the government, particularly EPU, MITI and NICO, we are looking into how that we can sustain our competitiveness and sustainability in the long run. Research and Technology Development Plan has already been developed, emphasized on digital transformation and sustainable aviation in order to ensure that we can further accelerate our capability and our competency in the long run. This chart shows that the element of components that we want to focus, be it industry development, research and technology adaptations, and not to forget the human capital agenda. In terms of research and technology, the main focus will be on the aerospace high value manufacturing. Of course, implementation of Industry 4.0, green technologies will be emphasized. Modernization and automation of certain processes, facilities, and also hangar for MRO is a key project for us. And digital transformation with regards to our day-to-day work, activities, and also certain what I call it, this process and procedures need to be implemented in order to ensure that we will be more efficient in the long run. And one of the key initiatives that we are looking at is the introduction of indigenous product and systems. We know that COVID-19 pandemic has limit ourselves in reaching out our members and colleagues outside of our country. As such, Malaysia should look into developing indigenous product and system in order for us to continue our survivability in this arena. And what is the most important thing, whatever that we have highlighted here, will ensure that Malaysia will continue to sustain our competitiveness, and we want to develop new competency through research and technology. We want to move into Industry 4.0, digital technology, and also sustainable aviation activities. And what is the most important thing in implementing all of these initiatives, we want to ensure that the strategic partnership together with international players and parties in universities and also research institutions will give a greater impact to our ecosystem. So with that, I conclude my presentation. And if there is any questions to be raised, I'm happy to elaborate any of the points that have been highlighted just now. Thank you. Over to
Okay,
you.
thank you very much, Prof. Shamsul. But before we open for the Q&A, we would like to share with you the video from NICO so that everybody can know what is NICO, even though they are already 5 years old, but probably some of the international friends all over the world can benefit from this particular video. So I would like to ask Dr. Faisal to share the video. But meanwhile, all of you can put up your question on the chat box so that Professor Shamsul can read it out and try to figure out what are the answers. Okay, thank you very much for the short video. There are a few questions in the chat box already. I can read it out loud to you, Prof. Shamsul. The first question from Mr. Ricky. Good morning. With the COVID-19 impact in the Malaysian aviation industry, what are the initiatives taken to help sustain the current aviation industry? So maybe we can start with that first.
Okay. With regards to COVID-19, there are a lot of challenges, particularly with the closure of borders in the countries. So it limits ourselves to travel, and this also affected our airlines, particularly the leading low-cost carrier in the world, AirAsia. And possibly everybody knows that AirAsia is one of the largest fleet owner of the A320 in the world. So the closure of the borders, limitation of people to travel has somehow affected us. And the government has announced recently under the budget 2021 that we will have the thousand of people who has been retrenched under the aviation industry to enhance their skills and relocate their capability to another areas, while waiting the industry to recover, hopefully in the next 1 or 2 years. And of course, in the case of NICO, we would like to see the recovery fast. So in terms of human capital, aligning the capability of current workforce to another areas is one of the key areas. On the other hand, we are also looking into giving some kind of not to say incentive, but how that we can support in terms of soft loans with regards to help their cash flow and so on. And the government also announced the importance of research and development activities, because we have to implement the new norm to ensure that we can sustain our activities and so on. So the government is willing to help with regards to R&D incentive or in R&D investment, particularly with regards to aerospace manufacturing, MRO, and also the aviation activities. So in short, there are a number of initiatives being highlighted under the budget 2021, and under the RMK 12 or 12 Malaysia Plan. We hope that there will be a number of specific aerospace initiative that will be announced by the government in the next few months. And of course, the recovering of our businesses after COVID-19 is something which is very, very critical. But in the long run, we are also looking into a number of other activities that can sustain our businesses, particularly in terms of our revenue and export. The first one is about bringing in more professional trainees to Malaysia, because we have a number of advanced technology simulators and so on that can be used by pilots, engineers. So with some kind of levy with regards to border control, we hope that professional pilots can come to Malaysia and conduct their trainings with, of course, under the standard operating procedures. On the other hand, we are also looking into enhancing the cargo activities, the business and general aviation activities, of which you can see that corporate jets and also general aviation, particularly helicopters, are still flies and still operating throughout Malaysia, and this is going to support many MRO activities and also business and also general aviation. So there are some. These are the some initiative that are currently being looked out, not limited by NICO, but also some other organization.
Okay, thank you, Prof. Shamsul. Actually, it's quite true. The aviation sector or industry is probably one of the most being impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic. But of course, they hope that we can realize this initiative by the new budget being announced. Right. We have another question from Ahmad Al-Sudairi. What is the regular percentage in terms of initiatives cost, time for research and technology comparing with other development sectors?
This is a bit tricky questions. As you can see, I may not be able to give you the direct answer, but from our observations, in the case of high value added and complex product activities promoted by MITI, in terms of technology readiness levels, our promotion is from 4 to 6, which means that we want the result fast. So we provided some kind of incentive, possibly about 1-to-1 in terms of this funding capability to the people who wants to conduct the research and technology activities. But the most important thing, there are time frame. Mostly for our high value added and complex product, we gave them about 1 to 1.5 years to see the result. So for MITI, we hope that this will encourage the development of the companies and the collaboration between the companies and the academia and research institutions. And we want the result fast so that we can further develop or further enhance our export. So that is something which is very, very critical. In terms of research and technology activities being conducted at the universities or the Ministry of Higher Education, the proportion is quite different because we are looking into proof of concepts, developing of some kind of new capabilities and so on. So in MITI, the focus is more toward business. So we give some kind of incentive, we give some kind of funding, and we want the KPI to be achieved within the limited time frame. Otherwise, there will be some kind of penalty and so on. Penalty is not so much in terms of penalizing the organization, but you have to deliver fast and come back to us in order to ensure the projects that we have selected, we have sponsored, will deliver the right KPI, particularly to achieve our Malaysian aerospace industry blueprint 2030 targets.
Yes, so that will be a quick win for the industry, aviation industry.
So that can answer. I mean, yeah, we can debate about that because different countries will have different approach.
Okay, thank you, Prof. Shamsul. The third question: what are the what innovation, okay, this is from Hasfa Nizam, what innovation you think will kickstart the aviation industry activities in Malaysia with the current COVID-19 condition?
Okay, what I would like to encourage the scientists, the researchers, not only in Malaysia, but also in throughout the world, particularly our friend from Asia Pacific. We need to think about how that we can fly safely. We can fly safely, which means that I would like to encourage that we need to find a way for us, for us to fly safely without having difficulties to get with regards to the testing and so on. There might be some kind of new innovations that we need to determine, because I believe with the current technology and the capability of our scientists, we can find the way on how that we can continue to operate our aircraft, to bring peoples into the aircraft and fly all over the world. Because aerospace or aviation activities, particularly commercial aviation, is very, very critical to connect ourselves. Yes, we can communicate through internet, we can communicate through online platform, but it's not similar. It's not similar. In AMIC, previously we have promoted what we call it online robot communications. That can be done, of which that we have a robot somewhere else, particularly possibly in one of the manufacturing facility, and we have a design facility somewhere else. So that is practical. But in terms of communicating together with our colleague from other places, because we need to have some kind of strategic engagement to learn and to see the real thing happening somewhere else. So we need to utilize the aircraft, helicopters, and so on. So I really hope that in the next few years, within the next 1 year, we can come up with something and help the Ministry of Health in terms of to make them ease, so that people can start moving, utilizing aircraft to move from one place to another place, because we can't use land transport to go to Europe. We can, but it will take
Months,
weeks or months. So I really hope that the scientists, the researchers, local and also international, can come up with some things and propose to the authority to be considered, because we need to act fast. Otherwise, it will jeopardize a lot of economic activities. I must say that with regards to revenue, the Malaysian aerospace industry are looking at reduction about 30 to 40% this year. So it is a bit sad, and in terms of organizations, we have seen a number of organizations have been shrinking due to the fact that less order from the tier 1 company, OEMs, and less orders for MRO activities and so on. So if we can work together, come up with some kind of solution, propose to the regulators, propose to the Ministry of Health, then hopefully that they can understand how that we can help them to generate the income and so on, because they also need money. If let's say we cannot generate the income for our country, and we have less income, we can't support the activity with regards to COVID-19 recovery.
Okay, Prof. Shamsul, we have another 2 questions before we end our session. The 4th question is from Dr. Hamdan, UTHM. He asked about what is the enhancement planning for aviation development in the east coast of Malaysia, especially Terengganu and Kelantan.
Okay. Under the 12th Malaysia plan, we have a specific strategy in terms of developing clusterization of aerospace activities. I'm sure some other countries also have this kind of approach. We can't simply establish new clusters of aerospace or aviation activities anywhere in a country. We need to evaluate what I call it this the value of specific clusters and so on. In terms of East Malaysia, if we can couple the aviation activities together with economic activities as well as tourism activities, there will be some kind of key point for us to develop aviation, more aviation activities in East Coast of Malaysia. Take Sabah as example. Kota Kinabalu is the second busiest airport in Malaysia before COVID, before COVID-19. and a lot of aircraft, particularly from international aircraft and airlines from Korea, from China, came to Kota Kinabalu because of the tourist attraction and so on. So they have some kind of product to be promoted for the people. So in the case of East Coast of Malaysia, we also need to have this kind of product that can attract more people, tourism, business people to come to East Coast Malaysia. So with having that kind of approach, I believe that we can have some kind of new initiative in building up the new clusters in East Coast Malaysia. Thank you.
Okay, Prof. Shamsul, the last question from Mr. Ricky himself. What do NICO think about the level of industry academia collaboration in Malaysia? Is there any formal plans promoted by NICO to encourage industry academia collaboration? Okay, Sam.
I think, yeah, I must say that the Malaysian Industry Government Group for High Technology, the organization that myself and Prof. Dr. Rahim has engaged few years back, Mike has already promoted, the triple helix concept, of which that industry, academia, and government are working together. But I must say that through our experience, I think Dr. Rahim can also concur this. It's not as easy as what we think, because the what do you call it, this the target or purpose of specific organization are quite different. But nevertheless, since the establishment of NICO, and we promote partnership, that's why in many of our presentation you can see that partnership are very key in our activities and also our implementation, because without having partnership and collaboration, I don't believe that things can be improved. So in the next 5 years, under the 12 Malaysia Plan, collaboration and partnership under NICO is very, very critical. So you will see that a lot of projects that will be implemented by us or already be implemented under 11 Malaysia Plan has this kind of element. So if you don't collaborate, if you don't partners together with other people, there might be some kind of less priority from the government, because we want to see under the what do you call it, this prosperity. We want to share this the prosperity together with other people and want to develop the whole supply chain. So we should bring our friends from the academia, research institution, as well as the government agencies to be part of our initiative. So at the end of the day, we can't complain that these people, the government agencies or the government missionaries, don't understand what we want to do. So we need to make them understand and bring them in our activities throughout the journey. So I can see that for the last 5 years, a number of activities, initiative, and collaboration partnership between academia, research institute, agencies, as well as industries are getting better. For instance, today we have for the keynote address, we have the government representative, we have the universities moderating the session, and we will be having industry representative later on. So this shows that engagement between the three parties, or we call it the triple helix, are getting better, and that is the way forward. Because we need to do this together in ensuring that we will gain the success in the long run. Okay, that is my conclusions.
Right. Thank you very much, Prof. Shamsul. Yes, it is indeed an initiative. The platform is already there. NICO is there to facilitate, to coordinate the relationship. So basically, the academia especially, we have to go out from our cocoon, from the university, and engage the industry. Of course, the industry people, they don't have enough time to go to the university. So we have to make full use of NICO to collaborate with the industry better. That's right. Thank you very much. I think that would be the end of the first session. On behalf of the Symposium on Sustainable Aviation, we thank Professor Technology Shamsul Kamar, my very good friend, for his, delivering his thoughts, as well as to our conference. So thank you again, and I believe we have just a short break by having a short video of the presentation by the Faculty of Engineering.